This month, the federal government unveiled a new policy position. All school buses in the nation should have seatbelts. The announcement came after the revelation this move would save 2 lives every year. It's already the law for all new buses in Texas, but it's not working the way parents hoped it would. KXAN investigator Josh Hinkle first told you about the law's failure earlier this week, and tonight shows us why lawmakers are listening.
The law required lap shoulder belts on all new school buses in Texas, but only if state funding was available to reimburse districts for the high cost. Budget cuts here at the Capitol and little interest from the districts eventually led to the law's failure. Quite a disappointment for the families who suffered through this tragedy.
It's crazy to think, it's already been almost 10 years since the accident.
In late March 2006, Allison Stoos and her Westbrook High soccer team were bound for a match out of town on board a bus that rolled off the highway.
I, didn't have a seatbelt on, so I didn't stay in my seat. I was pulled out of the window and pinned under the bus. It took them over an hour to rescue me and my friend Devin from being pinned there. And then I was in the hospital for about a month's time, rebuilding my arm, and I'm still permanently injured from that.
In the aftermath, Allison worked with lawmakers to require seatbelts on all new school buses in the state.
Yes, sir.
But now she's back at the Capitol with her father, Steve Foreman, a decade later, after learning that law really never worked.
Everything was in place, and yet the school districts just looked the other way.
The law is there, right? To be effective, it needs to be funded. And then it needs to be enforced.
Brad Brown lost his own daughter, Ashley, on that same bus crash and believes a lap shoulder belt could have saved her life. This month, the head of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which regulates school buses, announced a new position saying concentrate on this simple, basic statement. School buses should have seatbelts, period.
This policy shift turns it from a why do we have to do this to why haven't we done this?
These three are now speaking with state lawmakers again, hoping an overhaul of the seatbelt law will work this time around.
I really want to see this change go through because I don't want other kids to have to deal with what I went through in high school.
During our investigation, we asked the lawmaker who wrote this law, Senator Eddie Lucio, what he was planning to do after our discovery. He's now written to leaders here at the Capitol, urging them to see if school districts are complying with the current law, recommend ways to ensure every school bus in the state has lap shoulder belts, and develop ways to guarantee state funding for those belts. We will keep you updated on his progress ahead of the next legislative session in 2017. Josh Hinkle, KXAN Investigates.
And online now at KXAN.com, we have compiled safety records for Central Texas school districts. Find out if your child's buses have seat belts, plus how many accidents and injuries have happened at each district as well. That's all in the investigative section of KXAN.com. And this weekend, join Josh for a special edition of our political program, State of Texas In Depth, for a closer look at this problem and the solutions in the works. That's Sunday morning at 8:30 here on KXAN.